You're live. We are live. We got a whopping 0 people on. 1 person's on. What's going on? We got 9 peeps. What's up, everybody? Ooh, hey, Josh. What's up, Ronald B? How are you, man? Big J, what's good? What's up, Dwayne? Damn, we got a lot of people going. Cool. Any quick ankle mobility tips? Wow. We're just hopping right into it. I like it. Yeah, definitely. Ankle tips, sit in the squat a lot. Actually, a video I did probably about a year ago now with shin raises. So just lean up against the wall like this, and then pull the toe back like this, strengthening the dorsiflexors, right? Something that gets missed on a lot. Let's see. William said, my left shoulder neck area is super tight, so please believe I'm on. Yes, we're going to talk a lot about some shoulder stuff today. I'm going to give you guys all my shoulder prehab stuff that I've done to kind of like strengthen the shoulder range of motion, gain more mobility over time, and be able to develop stronger calisthenics skills, develop a handstand, stuff like that. Let's see. We got 50 people on. Came here to say cured my terrible ass knees. I can start dunking again. Oh, shoot. Respect, man. I could actually dunk back in college. Don't think I could anymore, but would like to work back up to that at some point. Can you make a video on how to progress till reverse prayer pose? I'm not a yogi. I'm not quite sure what reverse prayer pose is. Can you describe it? Can you perform these exercises with limited range of motion? Yes, it's kind of the point of what I'm going to be showing you guys today and talking about today is it's safe ways to gain more range of motion and gain more strength in range of motion. That's what's pretty darn important. Oh, praying behind your back. Makes sense. Yeah, some of the shoulder stuff we go over today is going to help with getting, I mean, that just takes a lot of shoulder extension, right? So bringing the arms behind the back. So that's going to help out quite a bit. What's up? Bobby Bush. Bobby Bush, are you helping a thick boy get his high kicks actually up high? Thank you. Bobby, love it, man. We might talk some hip mobility today if that's what you're referring to. We'll see. You saved my knees with your patellar tendonitis rehab video. Great, man. That's awesome to hear. Patellar tendonitis was something I went through a whole lot of that years ago, and that sucked. That was really troubling to deal with because you can't really do anything when your knees are killing you and you're trying to go out and play sports and maybe lift weights, squat, and you can't. Sucks. Oh, Robert said, just curious, any rock climbing? Actually, my brothers and friends are super into climbing. I just went to the gym with them the other day and did a little bouldering. Really enjoy it. And I've done a little bit in the past as well. And I plan to get a little bit more into that down the line. And it's like all climbers and people that hang out in climbing gyms have ridiculously jacked shoulders and backs, and have generally pretty good shoulder health. So, follow what they're doing. Are you in the Bay Area? Do you train clients? Kind of in the Bay Area. I'm in Santa Cruz. And I don't train people in person, but I do some online coaching with people. So if you're interested, you could shoot me an email. Should I say my email publicly? Yeah, you guys all deserve it. You 75 people, josh@strengthside.com. Let's see. I'm a baseball player that had double hip surgery. I'm having trouble with hip mobility now. Please help. Yeah, man, double hip mobility or double hip surgery. I could see you losing some range of motion there. Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of my channel is about, regaining that range of motion. Spend a lot of time sitting in the squat, doing different of my loaded hip mobility stretches, and yeah, you'll be well on your way. I just want to thank you for your great tutorials. As a triathlete, your full body mobility work helps me out immensely. Germany, cool, man, cool. Germany.
Good Morgan.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, the full body mobility stuff I'm really like, especially in the beginning stages of your journey to freeing your body up more and whatnot, can be really helpful. And most people don't realize that their shoulders are affecting their hips are affecting their shoulders, their ankles are affecting their hips, you know, all the things of the body are relating. So like, don't just focus on hip external rotation, you know, like don't just put all your marbles into one thing there. Think about freeing up the body as a whole, right? Take more of a holistic approach. What's your height and weight? I'm 6'2" and about I honestly have not weighed myself in probably over half a year now, but I would say I'm probably about 190 pounds.
I can't believe you just told us that.
Spent some time there. Yeah, I usually don't answer my height and weight because it's like, who really cares what my height and weight is? But I get it when people want to know. Developed some right side shoulder pain since beginning the rings. Yeah, the rings can be, the rings will get you so strong, but you also have to really take care to prepare yourself for the rings and just to take care of your shoulders and just your body while you're training on the rings, because they are intense and they're going to expose your body's range of motion and any mobility issues that you have, any strength issues that you have. It will expose that. So and then actually I had frozen shoulder on both sides from mountain bike accidents. Been a long road to recovery and began your rings routine a few weeks ago. It's been awesome, but okay, so that was just the first part of your comment. Okay, I see. Yeah, so I would say if you are having shoulder pain, you have to kind of examine the pain. Is this something that is going away super quick? Then maybe you could work through that. If not, then maybe you should take it a step back to the rings level 1. And work on just, really building up some of that foundational strength. Rock climber here. Love your content. I make rock climbing content if you ever. Cool. I'll definitely check you out. Yeah, shoot me a message or shoot me a comment and I'll check out your channel because, like I said, I definitely want to get more into climbing for sure. What topics would you like to cover soon? Keep it up. Great work, guys. No new topics really. There's nothing new for me. It's all the same stuff, but it's just how we're packaging it. And we did the primal movements video that's doing really well right now. A lot of people are watching it. A lot of people are enjoying it. So we want to do more of the just different ways that you can move that aren't so linear, like things that you do in the gym. I think that's why a lot of people are liking the ring content, because it gives you something different than just doing dumbbells and stuff like that. And then doing more of the primal movements type stuff is taking it a step further, basically. You've been an inspiration for me. Cheers from Gran Canaria. You're real, and that's awesome. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Javier. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Me and my family try all your videos. Haven't been haven't been to the gym in months. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's cool when you can get into this stuff and you start leaving the gym behind and you're able to do stuff on your own, and you kind of start realizing how, the gym is not bad in any way, right? I still keep a gym membership for some things, but when you're just set in that, going to the gym 5 days a week, spending an hour at the gym, like around all these people with either headphones on, not talking to each other, like, and then you start being able to do stuff outside, do stuff in your living room. It's very empowering. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What made you get into YouTube, and have you been doing this mobility stuff before you started, or was this the way you started? So the reason I got into YouTube, the reason I made a channel, was because I was just a personal trainer in the Bay Area, and I started just making videos for some of my clients that I wanted them to have some like homework to do or just concepts to dive deeper on. And then a couple videos caught on and started getting some views, and I was like, oh, maybe I could actually just start making YouTube videos. So I started doing one a week for a couple of years, and it kept on growing, and it was a lot of fun to do. And now it's kind of like documenting my journey from way back then. I was more into the corrective exercise scene. I was really into lifting weights, and now it's kind of grown into my journey through bodyweight strength training, mobility that's a little bit different than the mobility that you may see on most YouTube channels, and yeah, and now we are here where we're at. Let's see. Oh, I see a nutrition question. What's better to eat every day, fish, chicken, or steak, or a mixture? Yeah, I think you answered your own question. A mixture for sure. But one thing I'll just say for me, I'm not making like general recommendations here, but for me, when I started eating, let's just say I used to only eat lean meats, and I was kind of scared of fats. And then when I started to eat more red meat, beef, steak, stuff like that, it seemed like that really affected my energy production, and now I feel really, really good off animal fats. So I do eat chicken sometimes, but I kind of skew more to beef. Yeah, I eat a lot of beef. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of good questions here. Let's see. Any suggestions on a good brand of rings to buy for a first-time purchaser? Yeah. If you want like a really good quality ring, I recommend X Training Equipment or Rogue Fitness. Those are two really good brands. But I mean, you can get decent stuff off Amazon. It's, but I do recommend going with wood if you're serious about training on the rings. If you just want a pair of rings just to do some pull-ups on, maybe some rows, the plastic ones are fine. But for about $15 more, getting some wood ones is a higher quality. Who helps you with the YouTube channel? Well, my girlfriend Chrissy helps me a lot. Actually, she does all my thumbnails and whatnot, and that's super awesome. She does a lot of the branding for the channel. And then my good buddy Chris, we call C-Spo. Say hello to the folks.
What up, folks?
Chilling on the couch. He actually just set this live stream up for me, and he has been doing all the really cool like videography work, like that 5 primal movements video that we did. He made that look really sick. So some of the growth in the production is all because of him. My big question: if you don't eat until 2-ish every day, do you work out in the AM? And if you do you chug more coffee to fight the hunger? Okay, good question, actually. And I think you emailed me or put this question somewhere else, and I was actually planning on answering it. So he's asking, how do you fight the hunger, basically, to go until 2 p.m. without eating? Great question. Number one, yes, coffee helps for sure. But I try to stay away from drinking too much coffee. I don't want to get, I don't want to over caffeinate every single day and then have a big crash in the afternoon. So I usually stick to 1 cup of coffee in the morning. And then, yes, I usually train. I'll usually train somewhere around 10 a.m. to maybe lunch, like noon, something like that, 12 p.m. And then, yeah, training definitely takes my appetite away, and it stays away usually until like 1 p.m. And 1 p.m. is when I start looking at the clock, like, okay, it's probably time to start thinking about my first meal of the day. And that usually comes around 2 p.m. Right. I realize that for me, I kind of have a nice lifestyle to be able to do that. If you're sitting at work and bored, then, when I'm bored, like, I want to eat, so you could probably redose a little bit of caffeine to help the appetite. But then again, like, you don't have to do, like, this is what works for my lifestyle, eating around 2 p.m. But for other people, you're going to need to eat earlier, maybe 12 p.m. Or maybe you don't even want to do fasting. You don't necessarily need to do fasting, right? My shoulder blades are sticking out. I just realized the muscles controlling the blades are super active. Any tips to relax them would be great. So I believe you're saying your shoulder blades are winging a bit. They're super active. Any tips to relax them would be great. Honestly, I'm not so into relaxing muscles. I'm more into strengthening the muscles that maybe counteract those muscles that are too active. So maybe your upper traps are too active and they're pulling the shoulder blades into this, kind of like anterior tilted position. And what you essentially need to do is just strengthen the lower traps, strengthen the serratus, the ones that pull the shoulder blades down into the sides of your rib cage to get this nice sitting on the rib cage position. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm all about strengthening over, like you guys probably know, I don't use a lot of soft tissue work and stuff like that. I keep having caffeine withdrawals. If I go a day without it, any suggestions? Anyone? Funny, man. Yeah. Caffeine withdrawals are real. You guys have you got any advice for caffeine withdrawals?
Keep drinking.
Just why stop? Don't be a quitter. No. What's that?
So we're going through them right now.
Yeah. Chris hasn't had coffee yet. We're gonna make coffee, so he's having withdrawals right now too. I say honestly, make some tea, man. Yeah, make a little tea. Just go lighter on the caffeine, but you still get a little bit in there. Okay, guys, we're getting a lot of questions. I really appreciate you guys all here asking questions, but we'll keep this going. But I'm gonna start making some coffee. Hey, Chris, do you think that you could ask questions to me while I make some coffee here? We're around here. You don't have to ask every single one, but
Ask everyone. Can you make enough for all of us?
yeah, I'm gonna make big time. I saw Susan.
Are we making egg sandos today?
Oh, how did you guys know about that? How'd Piper know?
I don't know.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I got a video on an egg sandwich coming out soon. Be on the lookout. Water only fasting and training has yielded me awesome results. Nice. Yeah, I love training fasted. That's I actually like barely train after eating anymore. I'm pretty much always fasted when I train, and it feels great. And it used to be the complete opposite. If I trained fasted, I'd feel like low blood sugar, and I'd be like, oh, I get like sweats and stuff. That sucked, man. Having to rely on food. It's nice to not be reliant on food.
Rumor has it that when you get cut, you bleed coffee. That's from Chris.
That would That would I would say that would not be false. we keep the coffee going. I saw somebody had a question about tips for you too. Hi Josh, you might, if you tell us a bit more about you, just your hobby, if you have one. Oh, Mahogany Marco, thanks for being interested in me as a person. Not just my mobility tips. Let's see. Do I have any hobbies
Other than training?
other than training?
You like reading?
I do. I really enjoy reading. I read every morning. Chrissy said Wim Hof breathing techniques, but that's kind of like training. I'd say I really like biking to the beach. Yeah, these are all like romantic ones, but I do love like comedy TV shows. Like right now, I'm watching Parks and Rec, and I love that shit, man. So funny. I love to laugh, and I really like romantic comedies, which is, I understand it's a little weird for a guy, but yeah. Oh, George, what's up, brother? George has been a subscriber for a long time. Yeah, it's my dude. How you doing, man? When you made the transition to more bodyweight approach style of training, how would you say your physique changed, if at all, compared to when you were primary strength training in the gym? Good question. I've talked a little bit about that. My physique changed a lot. Like I got extremely leaner. Extremely leaner? Is that how you would say?
Extremely lean?
I got
More lean.
leaner. I lost a lot of body fat. I became less bloated, less, when I was lifting weights, I was more into that. I'm going to bulk for a period of time, and then I'm going to cut for a period of time. And then when I switched to bodyweight training, I just threw all that out the window, and I just ate how I felt I should fuel my training. And, but it was at the same time that I started intermittent fasting and stuff too. And yeah, I lost so much body fat and just stayed at a leaner weight for a long period of time. How long did it take your full journey end to end for full flexibility and movement? Years? How much time per day did you dedicate to it? Thanks, Josh. Well, it's all been a process, right? So I'm still in the process of unlocking more mobility and more flexibility, right? Like for me, my middle split mobility is really shitty. Like I was able to develop a front split with pretty easy, but spreading my legs to the side, a lot harder for my body. So it's something I'm still working on. But yeah, it's been like 3 to 4 years of going pretty hard at this stuff. And there's been times when I've trained 5 hours a day. But there's also been times when I've just trained maybe 2 hours a day, stuff like that. So, a lot of this, but we're always going this way, right? And that's what I really believe in, is just always trying to get that curve going in the positive direction, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to try to get to all the questions, but is that? Yeah, you can read. Somebody had a question about, do you have any advice for YouTube videos? And maybe for like somebody starting a YouTube channel, I think. And my main advice would just be to be consistent with it. Like I really committed to doing 1 video a week I stuck to that. I'm good when I commit to things. I'm good at sticking to it. And I stuck to that for like 2 years straight. And there's going to be weeks when you're like, I don't want to do a YouTube video, like that's crazy. Like I got all this other stresses in my life and everything, but yeah, if you're committing to that, then just stick to it, and eventually like things are gonna come around. Yeah, and that's what we're still doing. Right now I'm doing 2 videos a week and a live stream.
Whoa.
Shout out to the first live stream. This is a lot of fun. Thanks for being here, guys.
Okay, question. Josh, do you do any running?
Ooh, running. Good question. So there was a time in my life when I liked running. Oh shit, I gotta grind this, guys. Hold up. Check out that. Oh, somebody asked about the coffee maker or the coffee grinder. Really like this. Espresso. Actually just got it on Amazon. Super easy, and it does a nice grind. We got this to 210. I'm not gonna forget that running question. We're gonna get to that. Okay, running. So there was a time in my life when I was kind of into running. Actually, I was really into running. I ran like a half marathon. This was years ago, probably 8 years ago. And I do actually enjoy running. Like, I enjoy the meditative experience of it. I enjoy the high that it gives you. It's cool. It's pretty awesome. But I do not run currently at all, really. And what it really comes down to is, like, you only have so much energy to put forth in your training. Like, what, and like for me right now, I'm valuing different things for my body that kind of get me to where if I want to run, I can run, because I can squat, I can lunge, I can hinge, I have proper mobility, right? But running would kind of suck energy that I'm placing in other places. And it's the same reason why I don't deadlift right now. Deadlift is probably one of the greatest full body exercises you can do, but it sucks a lot. It drains your nervous system, right? So I kind of need that energy to be able to place elsewhere. So don't run right now, but yeah, running's cool. Cool. What's the next question?
We'll start making the coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Here we got the Chemex. We're going to do one large pour. I'm like getting caught up in these questions, and Chrissy and Chris are like, yo, let's make this coffee. We need some fucking coffee, man.
True.
So true.
Okay. Greetings from Argentina.
Argentina.
Question.
Hola.
I can do one hand push-up. I think he means handstand. Handstand push-up and handstand holds, but I can't do even one handstand push-up. Any recommendation?
Wait.
That question
Can I
is
see
a
the
little
question?
challenging. Yeah. He's saying he can do one hand push-ups. There we go.
I can
and
do one hand
hold.
push-up. I can do a handstand hold, but cannot do even one handstand push-up. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, one arm push-up isn't really going to transfer into a handstand push-up very much, but where was I? Oh yeah, but a handstand hold, then you're definitely there for developing the handstand push-up if you already have a handstand hold. So I would just say you got to do some handstand push-ups on the wall for sure. Once you can bang out pretty solid handstand push-ups on the wall, you'll be ready to do a freestanding one eventually. Let's see here. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm missing your questions. You can feel free to ask them again if we missed one from earlier up, because I glanced at some that I saw were pretty good questions, and then we might have just lost them in the fun here.
Brandonian is wondering about microdosing with mushrooms.
Hey, Brandonian.
Also, he loves Mac. He did rest in peace, Mac.
Do you ever? I think I see your comment. I'm a runner and enjoy microdosing on my trail runs. Hey, yeah. Let's just say you got me excited, but now I'm wondering how much I want to say about this. I think it could be very I could think it could be very beneficial. It could be really good experiences if you know what you're doing and if you're careful with it, basically, right? So, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. That sounds awesome, and I've experimented myself and had good experiences. Yeah. And you said rest in peace, Mac. Rest in peace, Mac. If you know, you know. Would you ever do a grip strength video? Bobby Bush. Love the name, man. Bobby Bush. Probably not, to be honest, because I've never really trained much grip strength myself. I think from deadlifting for many number of years, I spent like probably 4 to 5 years deadlifting heavy consistently. That really trained my grip to be pretty much as strong as I need it to be. Yeah, so that's what my advice would be, deadlift. Also, doing a lot of like pull-ups and work like that can definitely bring up your grip strength for sure, for sure. We got a France. Hello from France. No question for me. Just saying you changed my way of training. I've been training body weight for 3 months now, feeling great. Happy to see you enjoy like French people do. Love the French, man. Yeah, you guys always seem like you are enjoying life. That's what we're trying to do as well. Also, love French pastries. A good croissant. That's my shit, man. So, yeah, thank you, and yeah, keep training body weight, and if it feels good, I think that's always a good indicator you're going in the right direction. Will this stream be uploaded as a video? Yes, it will be. What is this? Will you ever finish making the coffee? We're close, guys. Did I kill the water? Yeah.
So how do I do that?
Okay. Oh, Sophia, greetings from Colorado. I'm drinking coffee with you all. Truly enjoy your workouts. I have my son, 12 years, watching once a week. Good vibes and blessings. That's great to hear, Sophia. Thank you so much. And I think it would be really good for your son. And let them dirty the walls. That's an Ido Portal comment about letting kids play and explore their bodies and not restricting their movement, because kids should be out there using all the movement that they have, right? So, I don't remember if I answered this, but will I upload this live stream as a video? I think we will. I think this is going pretty good, and we're 30 minutes in, and I'm gonna get to some shoulder stuff. Don't you guys worry. Right now, we're just more so BSing. I'm having fun answering questions. Favorite music to bear crawl to? I need new workout music. James, my man, what's up? James actually trained with me a long time ago when I was training at Upright Health in Redwood City. Well, I really enjoy the music of Tom Misch. I'm going to type it out. Tom Misch. And Big Wild. That's what I'm on right now. All really good vibe music. I really like jazzy, funky vibes. That makes me feel good, especially when I'm doing more of the movement type training. I screwed my shoulder by weight training. I'm better now. Nice. Pretty much back to full mobility, but I've developed some problem with hip mobility. The pain runs down to my knees via hammies. Well, happy to hear you're out of the shoulder dysfunction, but yeah, I mean, think of it this way. If you were able to get yourself out of the shoulder pain, then you're going to be able to get yourself out of the hip pain as well. Sounds like you're exploring what's going on with you, and yeah, I mean, that's the way that you fix any problem, is just exploring, diving deeper, watching strength side videos, and yeah, getting your body stronger, basically. Let's see. What is your eating? Fernando Medina. I have a couple nutrition videos, full day of eating. Check it out, man. And I have a new egg sandwich video coming soon, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Let's see. How long are you awake before you break fast? Good question. I usually wake up in the 7:30 range, and then I eat. Pour this with you. Chrissy and Chris are whispering, which is like, I'm like, are they talking about me behind my back over here?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, and then I usually eat around 1 to 2 p.m. So not quite sure. Can you do the math? That would be great. Thank you. Do you ever do explosive or dynamic movement strength training? That's a good question. I actually do some jumps. At this current phase in training, I'm not doing much explosive work, but I really enjoy just different types of jumping, right? Even just like the simplest like box jumps. Yeah, really nice. But as far as like other stuff goes, like ladders or any of that type of stuff, you know, I'm not trying to be like a super quick athlete. That's not my thing anymore. So no, I don't really use that in my training too much, but love jumping. India, stand up, Karan. Chris, I poured you the big one because you haven't had any yet, and we have. I take care of my cameraman. Been feeling a lot of instability in the left shoulder. Can you suggest how to address this? Not confident of doing exercises. Mobility seems to have taken a major hit. Yes. Stay tuned, and I'm going to give you a lot of good shoulder stuff. We'll hop into that in just a few more minutes here. It looks like the questions are slowing down a little bit. Okay. Oh, Geography, great album. Yes, love Geography. That's my shit right there, man. Actually, I was last year traveling. I remember listening to that a lot when I was in Peru, and just kind of walking around, being on buses and trains and listening to that album, and it was like a great little soundtrack for my life. Kid Cudi reference. Is it healthy to have my shoulder pop whenever I move it clockwise? Yes, you want your shoulder to pop when you move it clockwise. That's a complete joke right there. That's a tough question, man. No, it's not healthy. And yeah, there's something going on there that you want to figure out. So stay tuned for some of the mobility and strength stuff we're gonna do. Let's see. Greetings from the UK. Love your videos. To see significant change in terms of body fat, is it better to supplement bodyweight training with a bodybuilding routine? From Thea. Is that how you say that? Thea? They? Well, when it comes to body fat, quite honestly, I think that it comes down mostly to nutrition and kind of like a caloric balance in your body, right? So, as much as I am into intermittent fasting and I think it's great, like I also do acknowledge completely that to lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit. So, if you're trying to lose fat, then you want to look at your nutrition first. And then I think examine the training, and if you can do more training. So this is why, if you're only bodybuilding, like going to the gym maybe 4 times a week for an hour, then, maybe you're not expending as much energy as you could be. Like in my training nowadays, I'm doing strength training, but then I'm also doing mobility training, and then I'm doing some locomotion movement stuff. And this just keeps me moving all the time, and I'm expending a lot, right? And I'm putting a big emphasis on strength training, which I think like you can't beat strength training for burning fat, right? Like get out of the cardio mindset. If you want to get muscular and lean, then prioritize your strength training. What are your thoughts on weighted German hangs? Ooh, based Lukashenko. What are your thoughts on weighted German hangs? I've never done them, honestly, but I love German hangs. Just bodyweight German hangs have been great for me. They've like really increased my shoulder extension and yeah, so I guess if you're there, like, then sure, throwing some weight on them could definitely be cool. But I'd say just like make sure that your shoulders are prepared to do that, right? 3 of your personal best exercises for glute strength and mobility. Well, I mean, you have to pick one or the other. Do we want glute strength or do we want mobility? Number one would be squats for glutes. I'm just going to answer for glute strength. Number 1 would be squats. Number 2 would be hip hinging, some type of deadlift. And then number 3 would be some type of lunge variation, right? Or split squat. It's really that simple. Yeah. You will make a ring workout to master the muscle up. Yeah, I think the first 2 ring videos that I've put out are building towards the muscle up. We're building up the capacity to do that. You don't want to start doing muscle ups before you've really put in the work to get there, because if you're kind of doing them with a lot of momentum and your form isn't that strict, then they can be really rough on the shoulders and maybe not so much be beneficial for you. Let's see here. What's good, Josh? Eric Charles, I recognize you, man. You were saying when you started intermittent fasting, you started to feel less bloated. What do you think attribute that to? Dietary choices? Oh, good question. So when I said bloated, I more so meant before, like I always just kind of held on to like a little bit of puffiness in my physique. Like it was hard for me to get lean. So it wasn't necessarily like I was feeling bloated. Like it was more so like I would just hold on to a little bit of that, people say like baby fat or whatever. And I'll share pictures at some point. I'll have like a good transformation video eventually that you'll see. Like I was just kind of like I looked a little bit muscular, but I was puffy and it wasn't the best look, to be honest. But yeah, I think when I started intermittent fasting, I just started consuming less food overall. Consuming less food, taking like much longer breaks between food. And yeah, like I think it's as simple as that. I also stopped consuming lactose so much. Like I'll still eat cheese, but I stopped like eating yogurt, drinking milk, stuff like that. And as much as I wish I could be cool with lactose, my body just doesn't like it very much. So I don't eat as much of it anymore. Yeah. What's your thoughts about eating once a day? If you could handle it, man, then go for it. I don't think that's really sustainable as a lifestyle though. And for me, like everything that I want to do is something that I can carry with me as I get older into the next years of my life. So that's why right now it's like, yeah, I just skip breakfast basically. And then I eat the rest of the day. That's easy. But eating once a day, I could see it working, but it would be a little bit more of a challenge, especially in the beginning. Scotland, loving all the advice. Man, I was just watching Parks and Rec and Ron goes to Scotland to the Scotch or whiskey factory, and just like seeing the landscapes there, I was like, I gotta go to Scotland. Like I was about to hop online and book a ticket there. So yeah, would love to visit Scotland at some time. I'm still practicing my false grip before trying muscle ups. That's a really good idea, Ronald. And do your rows and your chin ups, do them in a false grip, right? You really got to get comfortable with that false grip before being able to do a muscle up, a front roll, all that cool ring training, all those skills. You need that false grip locked in. That's kind of the most challenging part for a lot of people who are learning the muscle up, for sure. I've been doing intermittent fasting and lost lots of muscle. I like this comment because if that really is the case, then stop intermittent fasting. Like, there's no reason to keep doing it if it's not getting you positive results, right? We're all just experimenting with our body, and I don't have all the answers. I'm not an expert. I can only share with you what's worked for me and what my journey has been. So if you find it not to be beneficial for you, then definitely just try something else, you know? Someone just said pistols. Pistols. You gotta love them pistols, man. Love a good pistol squat. How long should I working on my mobility and stability? Depends. How unmobile and unstable are you? It's actually a great question because it just depends. Like, some people don't need all the mobility training. Some people that have the mobility in their body already, like they haven't lost a lot, don't waste time doing a bunch of mobility training. Like, go train your strength. Go get stronger, right? Oh, Susan Hurley. Okay, I've seen your name pop up a couple times. I don't know if I've answered your questions. What's best upper strength move? Injured my left shoulder, need to strengthen. Thank you. Well, a bit of a vague question there, Susan, but I see what you're saying. I think, like, if we're just talking in general, what's the best upper strength moves for an injured left shoulder? Just stay tuned. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff with bands that are going to be really beneficial for you. But if not, I would say probably doing rows and push-ups is going to be the best way to strengthen the upper body. Thanks for the videos, man. Do you use extra weight on your rings training? I was doing some weighted dips for a little while, and yeah, those treated me good, actually. I felt like I gained some good strength from that. But other than that, no, I don't think you need a lot of added weight when you're doing more complex ring stuff. Injured my left rhomboid swinging a kettlebell. Cold. I know, man. Sometimes you just want to hop into it, but you got to warm up. I shoot a lot of archery and get it's debatable. Yeah. Do we really need to warm up? I don't know. And get quite sore. Any mobility strength tips? I mean, now would probably be a good time to hop into some of the shoulder stuff, guys. It's been about 45 minutes. Do you know convict conditioning? I'm familiar with it. Yeah, it seems to be pretty cool, legit stuff. From Santa Barbara, how many hours do you fast for regularly? Santa Barbara, just down the coast, man. My fast is usually 16 hours because I usually have an 8-hour eating window, so something around there. But as I say in a lot of my videos, I'm not super strict on it. What do you think of parkour? Freaking love parkour, man. Parkour, or is that a lady who asked that? I'm not sure. Yeah, climbing and parkour are two things that I really hope to get more into in the future. I think parkour are like the ultimate athletes. Like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Do you do parkour? Is that okay? Kulu, are you a parkour athlete? What's the best psoas hip muscle stretch? Man, I think you just got to find the right one for you. Just experimenting with a lot of different hip flexor variations, hip flexor. Sorry, getting distracted here. Yeah, and usually adding load for the more stiff people like myself. I've mentioned a lot in the past. I'm very stiff, so I need to go into a hip flexor stretch. Let me show you guys. For me, I need to go into a hip flexor stretch here, and then I need to lift the knee and find stability here. And keep gaining strength in this position is the way that I've really freed up my hip flexors, right? I think that's quite important. Adrian's agreeing. Stop intermittent fasting. Yeah, sure. Do you take protein powder, and which one do you recommend? I do not, because I eat a lot of meat. So,
You're not a vegan?
I eat a lot of meat when I'm not being a vegan. So, yeah, I don't need to supplement. I don't need to supplement extra protein usually, right? But I'm not against it. If you don't eat a lot of meat, then definitely probably supplement some extra protein, but just find a good brand, find something that you like, find something that doesn't upset your stomach, and hopefully something that's a bit organic, maybe. What do you do for a living? You're looking at it, baby. Be fly. People that thought you were vegan. I like meat. Yeah, I think like I have nothing against being vegan. I think that's a personal choice, and I respect it completely. And I think if you are able to do that and to sustain like the activity that you want to sustain, then awesome, like keep it up. But for me, I've experimented with it and it didn't feel good for me. So yeah, like I said, I respect it, and especially if you're not training that hard, and if you're not like, if you don't need a lot of well, let's just say like it would be it's really hard to support training 4 hours a day on a vegan diet, right? But if you're just doing like an hour of yoga, something like not very intense, then you could completely be vegan. That's a good choice probably. Denise said, how do you stay motivated and not let your eating slip back into bad habits? It's a great question, because motivation's a hard one, because I think you have to find something deeper than motivation, because motivation is very fleeting, right? I could wake up one day and be motivated to change the world, and then the next day wake up, feel like shit, maybe a little depressed. So you need something deeper than that, that's driving you and guiding you to keep improving in life, right? And you need to be easy on yourself, to where if you do get off track, if I do eat half a cake, then I'm not just going to go off the rails. The next morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm say, all right, I'm going to get back on it. Yeah. Yes. You need to rewatch this. I'm dropping knowledge bombs here, guys. Just kidding. Kind of. Would adding almond milk to my coffee that only has 1 gram of carb per cup technically break a fast? I don't think so. I mean, technically having coffee is, some people would consider that breaking your fast, right? Because you're putting something that other than water in your body. But I think if you're keeping the calorie level to under like 10, not 10. Yeah, I don't know, 50 to 100 grams of calories, then technically you're still in a fast calorie wise. I have no scientific backing behind that, but I think I've heard people say that before. Can't even be vegan for Fridays during Lent. It's tough, man. It is tough. Vegan is pretty challenging. Motivation is like a bathtub full of water. It gets cold. You need something that's a fire under the bathtub that warms it up all the time. Nicely said, man. Yeah. It's so true. That's so true. And I think that you got to kind of like be able to just commit to something during the bad times. And I really like inspiration over motivation, because to me, inspiration is more like just surrounding yourself with things, right? People, art, things that just keep you like wanting to be a person in this world that's growing and getting better each day, right? And if you're surrounding yourself with the opposite of negative things, then it's really easy to just be like, fuck everything. I'm gonna have cake all day, cake, a little piece of cake for dessert, no worries. But Ricky Spanish said, I like cake. I'm with you, bro. How old are you? I am 31 years old. Years young. There we go. I love that. Motivation is just a kickstart to reaching true discipline. That is well said, my brother. Esai. Sorry if I'm messing your name up, but damn, you hella old. Shots fired. It's funny because 31 is crazy. Like the last time I remember checking my age, I was maybe like 25, but checking your age, just like thinking about it. The last reference point I have, I was like 25. But to be honest with you, 31 feels the best age I've ever been. I think from like, I just keep getting more comfortable in my own body, and that makes getting old feel better and better. 1988, baby. Actually, 1987. Sorry. What about alter egos to stay disciplined? What do you think about them? If so, if you don't know, it's creating an alternate personality and different things to perform, such as Kobe creating the Black Mamba. Coming from assassin's mentality. I like that. Chrissy, I love age. Chrissy loves to know the age of anyone. It's pretty funny. Okay, so assassin's mentality. I think that's pretty awesome, actually. Like, to be completely honest with you guys, my personality on strength side is a bit of an alter ego. Like you're always gonna be playing a part in life a little bit, right? I think there's no way around it. So why not play a fucking awesome part? You know what I mean? Like, why not choose to be the dopest person that you could be? Yeah. Jim Rohn has some inspiring books. Yes, I am a fan for sure. I'm 31, single, no kids. It's weird. Bit of a midlife crisis happening. Yeah, man, I could relate to that too, because as you grow older, you're like, what am I doing with my life? What's going on? Yeah, and I get more and more of that as I get older. I get the little existential crisis of like, fuck, this is all going to be over sometime soon. All right, maybe not soon, but I think that makes life all the more beautiful, because what are you going to do while you're here? Hopefully something kind of cool, right? Hopefully you're going to live life to the max. Christopher Griffith, how long did it take you to overcome knee meniscus pain? How did you adjust your training? Well, it took me a while. It took me probably up to 8 months, maybe a year. But like I've talked about before, I completely changed up my training, and I stopped squatting and deadlifting heavy, and I did a bunch of body weight work, and it completely changed my life. And it was like the best thing that ever happened to me. And now I have good control of my legs, and, you know, I can do full sissy squats, which is something that I never would have dreamed of doing back when I had patellar tendonitis and I tore a meniscus and stuff like that. So essentially it was, it was the best. So I know how much it can suck, because a lot of people hit me up talking about their knee injuries and everything. And they're like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life now. But yeah, it can be injuries can be a blessing in disguise. Like, it's a little cliche to say, but they really can. My aunt sent me this live link. Glad I jumped on. Esai. Esai. I really like that name. Cool, man. I'm glad you jumped on too. Sounds like you got a cool aunt. Tell her I say hello. I'm 31 too, Playboy. Dope. 31 is a good age, man. It's a good age. Don't you still squat though? Yeah, I definitely still squat. I still squat usually 2 times a week, right? But for a long time, I had to take squatting out of my programming because I couldn't handle it with my knee. But I've been back to squatting for a while now, probably 1.5 years, 2 years or so. So, yeah, like I mentioned before in the live stream, I think deadlifts are awesome, but squatting is less taxing on the nervous system, less taxing on the body. Especially for me, I'm not a big squatter. I'm not squatting huge amounts of weight. So yeah, I can get my strength work in, and then go work my body weight stuff. You know, behind the leg pistol is the one that's coming around now, which is a dragon pistol, which is something that I just developed one side. My right side is a little lacking, but yeah, it's cool. Just started getting old with 31, bro. Actual midlife comes later. 30 is pre-midlife. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that for sure. When I hit like 50, that's when I'll be like, ooh. But yeah, I feel good now, man. How long did it take you to get a pistol squat? Not very long at all, honestly. For me, I could do a pistol squat like right off the bat, but it was shitty. Like the knee stability was not there, the hip stability, the ankle stability. So yeah, it's I got it quick, but then it took me a long time to get good at it, and it's taken years. Like the other day, I posted in one of my videos I was doing reps of 10 with some weight, and yeah, I couldn't have even dreamed of that like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So it's just been a constant progression, and it didn't all come from working on pistol squats. Actually, just improving my mobility and other aspects, improving stability through different body weight, leg strength stuff. It's like I said, like I'm always focused on transferability, so I want to do things that are going to help other movements as well. Your thoughts on sumo deadlifts? Yeah, I think it can be a little bit safer on the back than regular deadlifts. I think you're able to have your back in just a little bit more optimal position. But with that being said, yeah, I think they're pretty different movements, and I think training both can be really great. For me, because of my leverages, I can sumo squat. Yeah, I think I could probably sumo squat like maybe a bit more. I'll just say a bit more. I don't know what the poundage. Good question. Trap bar, neutral grip. Yeah, trap bar, neutral grip is a great way to deadlift for sure. That's going to be really safe. You made video on rings. What about TRX training? Nice, man. Well, you can do a lot of things on the TRX, but you can't go on top of the TRX like you can on rings. So they're limited in that way. But if you just want to do rows, you know, face pulls, push-ups, yeah, TRX is great, man. Like that's a great way to go for sure. All right, guys, let me show you some of the shoulder stuff that I was going to get to. I think I've been talking about doing that for the last 30 minutes. Ooh, got a little construction going on outside. That's okay. We'll make it through. Yeah. You or Chris can do that. I'm just going to finish up this coffee. Okay, so essentially, I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff with a band. Grab a band. Hello from North Korea. What's up, North Korea?
Oh, yeah.
That's dope, man. Thanks for stopping in.
Okay.
Oh, so you squat for reps instead, right? Yeah, definitely squat for reps. Usually in the 3 to 5 range for my strength work. When I'm doing, usually 3 to 5. Not a whole lot of volume, just to maintain that strength output, and then, like I said, go do some other stuff. When you bring a program out, Neil Rogers, soon. And actually, so this stuff I'm going to show you, I'm going to have in the Move Strong Now program, which is full body strength and mobility program. So I'm going to show you my this is like the prehab that I like to use for anybody when it comes to shoulder health. Okay. I love your work, man. Respect from South Korea. Whoa. Korea is in the house. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? So anyways, let's go outside. I'm legitimately calfed up right now, I think. What'd the guy say when I get cut?
Bleed coffee.
Bleed coffee.
Should I just follow him? Let's try this.
Oh, a camera lady.
Come on. All right, welcome to the porch. This is the porch. What are we calling this?
I can't remember the training.
The porch train, something like that. This is my home gym. This is
do a
a
quick
super
tour.
cheap squat rack on Amazon. This thing cost me like $130 or something. It's plastic. But like I said, I mean, if you're not squatting and benching massive amounts of weight, you get yourself a pull-up bar, and I could actually move this thing around super easily. So like if we want to bring it somewhere for videos, then we could do that. We could transport it, right? Fire the glutes. Not Korea is here only. Ukraine as well. Yeah, we got Ukraine in the house. I keep getting meniscal pain when I do polyquin squat. What should I do? Good question. Maybe take a step back from the polyquin steps for a little bit, or minimize the range. Do a really small range of motion and just build it up. It's all about building up where you're weak, basically, right? Okay. Yeah, we live in Cali. We're in Santa Cruz, California. So legit, can't even take it. I appreciate you. Willow. Appreciate you. Okay, guys, so Georgia, how are you? All right, I'm gonna change out of this sweatshirt. I'm gonna put this shirt on. Let me back this
So
up a little
there's
bit.
a terms of service for YouTube Live, and showing nipple might be against that.
Oh no,
That's a real thing now.
that's real?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could get away with it, but
That's all right. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna go over with you right now. I call this the 4 corners of shoulder prehab or shoulder hill, and so where do you get your brands? So I get them from Rubber Bandits. There's links in all my newer videos, and if you enter Strength Side, you could get like 15% off or something like that. But they're pretty cheap. They're inexpensive. It's like $8 for this band, maybe something like that. But any exercise bands work. So we're gonna start with what's called the whippet. So the whippet we start with the band behind the back here, right? So my shoulder blades are pulled together behind the back. And then from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and I'm going to close. I'm going to try to really round the back here, right? So I'm looking for full protraction at this point. And then I'm going to let the band pull me back into retraction here. I'm going to keep my elbows straight. Close. Open. Close. And essentially, we're just looking for those shoulder blades to really reach forward along the rib cage, right? People ask about scapular winging a lot. This is one thing that can really help that because we're really strengthening the serratus here. Serratus, even the chest, all those muscles that keep your scapula nice on the rib cage. South Africa. What's up, South Africa? That's awesome, man. Love your guys' accent. TBH. North Pole. Santa Claus checking in. What's up? Good afternoon from Chicago. What's up, Anna? Italy. Enjoying all you guys telling me where you're from. What do you call this movement? So it's called Whip It. And I have it in videos, maybe older videos, but reference this for now, okay? Berlin, Toronto, Czech Republic, Ireland, holy shit, Wisconsin. I have some family in Wisconsin, Oshkosh. Did I miss any? Berlin. I would love to go to Berlin, man. Looks like one of the coolest cities in the world. Sweden, Stockholm. Really would love to go to Scandinavia. Do you do cars at all? I do not. I do not, actually. How to combine starting strength plus calisthenics. Ooh, that's kind of tough. Maybe pick one. Maybe you do the starting strength barbell work and then you just add in chin-ups and push-ups, right? Maybe weighted chin-ups and push-ups, something like that. Yeah. South and North Korea here. Love that Korea's in the house. Anna, what's your favorite ring movement? Well, I really like shoulder stands on the ring because they're super, super challenging for me. And that was really fun to learn those. But front rolls are really fun as well. And just muscle ups in general. They're hard, they hurt, but they work. Okay, Utah, O-Town, Ecuador. What? I almost went to Ecuador when I was down in South America, but I didn't make it there. Moscow, what's up? Hola desde Argentina. Argentina, I'm gonna be there in about a year, actually. Okay, so guys, keep on leaving your comments. I'll check them out in a sec. So first we did the whip it. Try to keep your strength coming from here, low. The problem is most of us are getting up here with our shoulders raised. We want to really strengthen this lower portion. Boom. This is where a lot of your strength comes from. Push-ups. Talked about handstand push-ups, right? A lot of it's coming from here, not from here, right? So we got our protraction. Now we're just going to reverse it and do a band pull apart this way. So with this, we're doing the exact opposite. We're trying to get retraction of the shoulder blade. We're going to pull apart till we get right to the side. Okay, let me show you from the back. This post. Who put this post here? It's in my way. Here, I'm going to retract. Cool.
Sorry, I love this. Is like...
All right. That's a band pull apart. Pretty simple. You could look that up on YouTube and find millions of tutorials. But what's most important is that you want to drive through that scapular retraction. You really want to, boom, pull that shoulder blade back and then move your arm, right? Shoulder blade back, then move your arm. Doing this over time is going to get you a really nice connection with your shoulder blades. And essentially, shoulder health comes from the shoulder blade, right? So being able to control these all the way around is going to get you those shoulders that are going to be able to do whatever you want. They're going to sit nicely. They're going to look good. And they're not going to have problems, right? Okay, let's see here. How long did it take to grow the beard? I've had a beard for probably like 2 years now. So yeah, I like it. So I just keep it year round. It probably took like 6 months. Do you ride a motorcycle? No, I don't, but that is something that I'd love to do sometime. Are you using that thin yellow band on purpose? Well, this is orange. And obviously I'm using it on purpose. I'm not using it on accident. But yeah, you don't need that much resistance for a lot of these things, guys. Like a light band like this will make your shoulder blades strong. Let's put it that way. You just need to be consistent with this. Okay. Do you have a daily water intake goal, or just drink when you're thirsty? I drink a lot of water during the day, but I don't have a goal or anything. But I generally always have a big glass of water with me around the house. When I'm training, have my water bottle with me. And I'm always kind of drinking water. What are some of your favorite podcast hosts to learn from, besides Ito, who has inspired you the most to love the lifestyle you live? To live the lifestyle you live. Good question, Adam. So one of the ones that pops right into my mind actually is Mike Bledsoe. He used to be on the Barbell Shrugged podcast. I think he created Barbell Shrugged. Now he just has his own personal podcast. And it's a lot less about training and more about lifestyle, right? Personal growth and whatnot. Really, I'd recommend checking that out. Let me just write it in the comment here. Love Mike's work. He's a super cool dude. He's kind of like me. He goes to he's like a Burning Man guy, and yeah, likes to live the good life. Let's see, any other podcasts? Oh, I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, actually. I listen to a lot of training podcasts, health and exercise, fitness, but I like to get outside of that because I'm doing that for my work and I'm training a lot during the day. So I also like to get into just having fun in a podcast. I listen to Pete Holmes. That's one of my favorite podcasts. I tune into that every week, Wednesdays. And that's just fun. It's just fun, funny, and they talk about the meaning of life a lot. So, get spiritual, which is cool. Yeah, looks really awesome. Yes. The woman who records your videos is your wife? What's her name? This is my girlfriend, Chris. She doesn't record all of it, but she helps me out. She does a lot of my branding, and she does all the thumbnails and that kind of stuff, which is cool. She's actually inside talking right now, or else I'd have her come say hi. Would a yellow or red TheraBand be okay for this? Yeah, perfect. Yellow or red. Like I said, the band doesn't matter too much, right? I also have this red band right here. So if I was a little bit maybe more warmed up, I might use the thicker band if I was trying to get a little bit more strength out of this. But for now, just using the orange one. I really like the lightweight ones, right? She has a lot of patience. It's a good point. She really does. She supports me in a lot. Yeah. Okay, so next one. 4 corners, right? So I call this 4 corners of shoulder prehab. So we just did protraction, retraction. Next one is going to be some downward rotation, and we're going to achieve that by starting with the band overhead, and then we're going to pull down here, up, overhead, pull down. So what I like to think about is letting my shoulder be raised up by the band, be pulled up high, and then pulling the shoulder blade downward and then driving my arm down on top of that, right? So we want to get range of motion here of the shoulder blade of moving upward, or I guess it would more be like this, upward rotation, and then downward, up, down. And when you're moving up, it's because the band is moving you upward, but when you pull down, that's you forcibly pulling into this position, right? Let's see. This move has helped me a lot. Learned it from you about a month ago. Yes, awesome. Yeah, this move helped me a lot actually, because like people ask about handstands, right? Because I've been practicing handstands for a long time and developed that over time. This is a position that takes a lot of time, this full shoulder flexion, to be really stable in this position. It takes a lot because we lose it from lifting weights, sitting, just too much too much non-activity, too much time not using the shoulder how it's supposed to. And this is one of the moves that reestablishes this overhead position, right? Mix this with some hanging, shoulders are going to love you for it. All right. Are you a hard gainer? I've never really identified as a hard gainer or the opposite. I guess people would say, oh, you're a mesomorph. But yeah, I can, if I wanted to, I could get fat. And if I wanted to, I could get really skinny too. So yeah, it's all in the it's all in like where I put my focus basically. And you know, I've kind of tried to find that middle path. Greetings from Texas. Have you kept up with your Wim Hof training? Have you noticed any significant changes? Oh, good question. Yeah, I did Wim Hof consistently. I mean, I've done Wim Hof for on and off for years now, actually, but I wanted to get really consistent about it, and I posted a couple of videos about it. And I did it for probably about 5 months straight, and it was great, man. Like, yeah, for a while, it just was my morning routine. I'd get up, I'd do 3 to 4 rounds of the breathing, and then I would do a cold shower or a cold bath sometime during the day. And the benefits that I got from it were that it really clears you, right? Like, especially when you're stressed out and you're having those never-ending thought cycles. Like, if you do those breathing rounds, it's going to settle that down. If you hop into a cold shower or a cold bath, like, try to hang on to manic thoughts. Like, it's not going to be possible, you know? So yeah, for kind of centering yourself, I really, really liked it. And also learning to kind of relax the nervous system, because that's essentially what you have to do when you're in cold water. Is if you fight it, it hurts more. You have to, and then it feels okay, right? So once again, like, learning how to kind of let go of things, really, really nice for that. And I don't do it consistently anymore, but like probably a few times a week, I'll do rounds of breathing in the morning. I don't have a bathtub anymore, so I can't do cold baths, and I do take cold showers all the time, but honestly, the water here is not that cold, so it's like, not too intense. But yeah, it's still something that I keep around. Shay Fitness, congrats on the growth of your channel. What's up, Shay? If this is Shay from the old HMB days, it looks like you. It's good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well, brother. Great videos. I've been spreading the word about your channel. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that, actually. Whenever people tell me they like my channel, I'm like, wow, thank you. But then when people like send my channel or my work to other people, I'm like, wow, you must this must have really triggered something in you. And that means a lot. That means a lot. So I appreciate you guys that like share it with your friends and send it around and everything. Like, whew, that's awesome, man. Let's see. Buzzing about the program. If you mean my new program that I'm putting out soon, then awesome. I really am too. I'm putting a lot of work into this one. It's actually been like, oh man, just grinding, filming videos, brainstorming everything for this program, because I want it to represent me changing from that lifting weights mentality to opening up my body, going into more body weight strength and mobility stuff. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to put that into a program, and then also have it accessible for different levels, right? So if you are a middle-aged mother, you could do it same as if you're a 20-year-old dude who is like, yo, I'm liking this body weight stuff, I want to do that. So yeah. How tall are you? I'm 6'2", 6'3" with shoes on, baby. Where would you recommend buying rings for a beginner? I'd recommend buying rings from Amazon. I mean, if you're in a country where you can get Amazon, then yeah, buy some. If you have the money to spend, buy some wooden rings. If you're on a budget, grab some plastic ones. It doesn't matter too much. But I mentioned earlier, X training equipment is where I get mine. Rogue Fitness, another really great brand. Tall and weight, about 190, guys. 190 pounds, something around there. I've definitely beefed up a little bit. I did that video not too long ago. I gained 10 pounds of muscle in 6 months. Since then, I've probably gained another 10 pounds, maybe, right? And, I've stayed pretty lean, so a lot of it has been muscle. Probably not all of it, but yeah. Randomly stumbled across your stuff. You changed my life back in the snap days. I'm still lifting every day. Shout out, HMB. Awesome, man. Yeah, it was awesome to have. So me and Shay, we actually worked together for a little bit of the time, and I think he was kind of early in his fitness journey, and we would BS a lot at work. I was an assistant manager at that time, so I was actually just chilling in the office, and yeah, man, we had a lot of fun, and yeah, I really appreciate you keeping me company back then, bro. I still follow you on Instagram, and I'm always like, damn, this dude's doing awesome. I think I see you like to do a little festival scene too, which looks super fun. Buy rings that were made locally in your country, Anna. That's what I did. Yeah, it's good advice for sure. Maybe support a local sporting goods store. Awesome video. My shoulders are killing me after doing 300 push-ups. Any way to relieve the pain? Well, it sounds like 300 push-ups is probably too much. There's probably no reason to do 300 push-ups unless you're like working towards a fitness goal that involves doing that many push-ups. Maybe back it down if you're just doing push-ups to like increase strength. Maybe do some weighted push-ups instead, and to relieve pain, do this band work that I'm showing you right now. Pay attention to your prehab work, right? I'm not a fan of doing correctives, but I am a fan of paying attention to your prehabs, making sure your mobility is there, strengthening range of motion, all that stuff. Part Wolf Fitness checking in. What's up, man? E-Man Jessup. How are you, brother? Part Wolf Fitness. I'm going to have to check you out. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Your take on physicality perfectly reflects how to build on your mental capacity as well. So glad to learn from you. Morgana, I've seen you comment on a lot of videos. Shay said it is. Yeah, I think you're referring to the festival scene. That's dope, man. Yeah, I'm like 100. If you listen to my last podcast video I put out, I'm 100% more into what my physical practice, what my training is giving me as a person, not the muscles. Like the muscles are whatever, right? But that's how it always starts. You want to get muscles to impress girls. If you're a dude, maybe you want to look, both sexes want to look hot for whoever you're trying to attract. But then over time, if you keep it up, the practice becomes very more personal, and you're trying to grow and transform as a person. And it's not, it gets less and less superficial over time. And that's what it's all about for me, is transformation. So I appreciate you, Morgana. Thanks for the tips. Now that I don't lift weights, my shoulder is fine. It seems bodyweight exercises was what I needed. By the way, I love the daily practice. Appreciate you. If you're watching this right now, the daily practice, man, that is like such a good way to just move your joints through full ranges of motion every day. And it probably only takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So, make sure you're doing that in addition to your strength training, right? And I think with bodyweight strength training, the way you develop is much more close to the spine and core. And I think that it causes a deeper level of stabilization in your body, as opposed to lifting dumbbells and barbells. And I think that's why a lot of people find they feel healthier when they do it. Check out my Instagram. Cool. I will check it out, bro. If you shoot me a message on Instagram at #, I will be much more likely to check you out. I'm going to post that below. Okay. These are great shoulder exercises. Thanks. And I'll incorporate them regularly because I could use them. Heck yeah. We could all use them probably. I'm going to get to your questions. I'm going to pause right here and give the next exercise. So next one is a wall slide. So you're going to need a wall. There he is. C-Spo in the back. You're going to need a wall. Now let me just demonstrate first. From here, kick these shoes out of the way. I'm going to round my upper back and protract the shoulder blade. And then I'm going to move my elbows all the way up the wall, back down. Here, round the back, bring the chin, tuck the chin. Okay, this is called a wall slide, or elbow wall slide. And so we've hit retraction, we've hit protraction, we've hit downward rotation. Last one is hitting this upward rotation. We want this shoulder blade to move to the side and to upwardly rotate when I move my arm overhead. All right, so so that's kind of the last one of this 4 corners of shoulder health, shoulder prehab, is getting all directions of the shoulder blade. So last one, that upward rotation, and you really want to press the elbow into the wall, and you want to get your back here. Don't do this from a retracted position. To get upward rotation of the shoulder blade, you need to protract the shoulder like so, okay? Simple. Any questions about it? Leave them below. I guess I am late. Dana, you're late. Thank you for your videos. Have been very helpful. Yeah, we've been on here for an hour and a half already. This is crazy. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Any video you're looking to see soon, let me know. More videos on movements, please. Just answered my question. Yeah, we actually are filming a little bit after I do this live stream today, and we're planning on doing a little bit more movement stuff, the natural primal movement type stuff. So I know people are really digging this. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep on working on it. How long did it take you to get a good number of followers? Around 2,000 to 3,000. Ooh, good question. Maybe a year to get around 2,000 to 3,000. Took me about 3 years to get like 25K maybe. And then once I hit 25K, then kind of had a big upswing of followers. I went from like 28K to like 80K in like a month and a half or something. So just had like a really big, I don't know what happened, but a couple videos got really popular and the channel grew a bunch. So it was dope. But I mean, that was like 3 to 4 years of putting videos out consistently. It's not like it happened overnight. What are the biggest mistakes you have made when it comes to diet as well as exercise? This is a really good question. You know what, guys? I got to take a break to take a pee really quick. Let me see if Chrissy will come out here and talk for a second. Do you guys have any questions for my girlfriend Chrissy, for Chris Spacetto, the film master?
Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little break here.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a sec. And if you have questions for Chris on filming or Chrissy on...
Yeah, we're talking.
Or Chrissy on dating a man such as myself, ask away.
Hey, guys. Ask us. We're the ones that know the true Josh, so.
Yeah. We're here to give away his secrets.
I see someone saying festivals. What are you, 18 years old? No.
No.
Just nope. We're older than that.
She's actually really old.
That's not true. Biggest diet and exercise mistakes he's made. You know, he always talks about this. He did a lot of like weightlifting and a lot of like strength work, and he got really stiff. So he always talks about that contributed to him exploring more of the mobility and more of the movement. He does a lot of isometric holds at the ends of sets for 10 seconds usually. I'm so bad at answering this. Well, hey, Brandonian, we've been chatting this time. I actually own Pilates studios in the Bay Area. So my background started with Pilates. And then when I met Josh, you know, he kind of changed my whole fitness world for me. And now I train a lot of his style. And it has been really, really dope. Okay, we're getting a little tired. We're going to come down. Okay. Hit
us with the spine rolls. Why did he leave Oregon? You were in Oregon?
He was born in Oregon.
Ooh, don't know if I want to release that publicly.
His social security number is also.
I loved Oregon because it was back when I was young, lived with my parents, and we moved to California together. Do people ask you any questions?
Not
beautiful. Really. You must be strong.
We're not going to EDC, but we are going to. Oh, should we say that? We're going to Beloved next week, which is in Oregon.
I don't know many people know about.
It's a pretty dope little festival. Wait,
a hippie fest.
Chris is going to hit us with some spine rolls. Are you ready to go?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ready.
He's not
some spine work.
I'm not ready. That's next week.
Wait, somebody said, are you 18 or something?
Yeah, I said just no. I just didn't explain it.
Oh. We got a hater in here? What are you, 18 years old? Shaky tour. Festivals are for everyone, man. Let's see. Is there any recommendation repetitions or isometric holds to these exercises? Oh, the ones that we were just talking about. Yeah. So for everything that I showed, do 10 reps. Are you exiting?
I'm exiting.
Everything that I showed, do 10 to 15 reps. And I am a big fan on holding the last repetition for 10 seconds, right? So you're doing these guys, the pull downs, straight arm pull down, boom. Maybe do 12 reps, hold 10 seconds, boom. Do that for everything. And repeat. 2 to 3 times, right? And this all depends. Like if you're having some issues with the shoulders, then you want to do this stuff more, right? You want to do this for 3 sets every single day. If you're just like strength training, you're working on the rings, you're doing this stuff, just hit like one set of each before your training work, just to make sure that your shoulders are like ready to go. You're all beautiful together. Much love from Germany. Your content has given me a lot. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. You sound beautiful as well. Show us your tattoos, my man. Oh man, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. Being like, hey, this is the tattoo. I got this because da 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 da. I'll just give you a glance of this one right here. It's a cityscape with some fog, wind above it. This is my favorite one, actually. And I got plans to get a new one hopefully sometime soon. Maybe I'll show you on the next live stream. Oh, I want to get back to that question before I had to go pee. Oh, biggest mistakes. Yeah, biggest mistakes. So oh man, I missed some questions. No, I don't have any advice training plan for runners. I'm not a runner, so yeah, you got to find a runner to give you some of that advice. Your workout videos are different from other YouTubers. That's what got me following. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's kind of what my space has been, is being a little bit different, highly different. That's a Mac Miller line. I forget the whole line, but he says highly different, so that's why I use it in some of my branding. How can one become more? Oh no, wait. The question: biggest mistakes in diet and exercise. I'm gonna hit this quickly. Number one biggest mistake is just doing what I saw people doing around me and not thinking critically about what would be the best for what I want to do with my body and with my life. And I just kind of fell into, oh, hey, my friend is doing this thing, so I'm going to do it too. Not the best way to get into something, right? I appreciate what it gave to me. I learned a lot from the experience. But yeah, ultimately, it just led me to thinking a little bit more critically, like I said, and being like, what do I want out of my experience from exercise, fitness, training my body? So yeah, now to give you that's kind of the more philosophical point. To give you more of a straightforward answer, eating low fat, thinking I should eat like a bunch of brown rice and broccoli and chicken breast and fish did not work for me. I just had hunger cravings, and my body did not look good, right? I need fat in my diet. And then for training was just like thinking how much I lifted was a measure of who I was. And yeah, when I got away from that and started doing what made my body feel better, that's when things really came together for me. Let's see. Somebody said something about touching the toes. Really touch my shoulders, touch my toes. Yeah, you got to work some hamstring mobility, man. I have a great, if you just search strength side hamstring flexibility, I have a video from a while ago. I don't think it has many views, but it's literally what I use for all beginners when you're pretty stiff in the hamstrings, and that shit works well. You just got to spend some time. Hamstrings get stiff and they're stubborn, and it takes time to open them up. Now I can touch my head to my toe. And when I started, I was nowhere near that, right? Yeah, you got to just spend some time starting with the easy exercises, the basic stretches, and then we work up from there. Soft acrobatics. Resources. Well, just Ido Portal. That's where I've learned all that stuff from. Actually, also training capoeira, doing like macacos and stuff like that. Yeah, but that stuff's pretty complex, and you kind of got to dive. I would recommend diving in with somebody who knows what they're doing, a teacher, not over the internet, like firsthand. Go to a capoeira class, do some parkour, something like that. How many years have you been training? Since I was 17, so 14 years. 14 years. It's been quite a journey. Do you all drink coffee? We all drink coffee. Yes. I mean, we're all on some level addicted to coffee. I can go a day or two without coffee. It's no big deal, but I enjoy coffee because it keeps me moving. It keeps me motivated. Yeah. And at some point, maybe it's not the best, but anyways, we'll get off that. I love Deep House. Anjuna Deep is a great channel and podcast if you're looking. Cool. I'll check it out. Where are we at here? I have some discomfort between my right scapula and spine. I think I need a chiropractor, but in the meantime, any suggestions that might help? Well, you probably don't need a chiropractor. You probably need to figure out what's going on there with the muscles. Either that muscle is super tight or it's super weak, basically. So you should do all the exercises that I just showed here, and cover the four corners of your scapula, and you will be on your way to feeling a lot more healthy in the shoulders. It's me again. Any special advice or strengthening for pelvic floor would be great. I've seen your videos on core. I'm not sure if I can get more specific, especially for women with prolapse. Oh no. Grab a little seat here. It's a little tiny camping chair. I think that pelvic floor stuff is a little ambiguous, and I think that if you just strengthen your core in the right way, then you'll be able to have a functional pelvic floor. So I have my core follow along. If that's too intense for you, just do the easier variations for everything. But things like hollow holds, you can't beat them. Dead bugs, like I recommend dead bugs to everyone. Like there's no reason you shouldn't be just doing some dead bugs to warm up for your training. Dead bugs are like the holy grail, right? So keep it up. I saw somebody said, what do we use to edit? Yeah, software for editing videos. Final Cut Pro. I use that, and so does Chris. I used iMovie for the first 3 years of YouTube though, and that worked completely fine. Updating to Final Cut just allowed me a little bit more functionality, but yeah, it just depends, man. It just depends. Do you want to be a YouTube channel? I'm assuming you're asking for like YouTube channel advice or something like that. Do you want to be a YouTube channel who is putting out content that is the slickest, right? That's like the best editing and the best camera work? Or do you want to be a YouTube channel that's putting out, sorry, there's construction going on here, God damn it. Or do you want to be a channel who's putting out like really good information and really authentic stuff, right? Like I'm a big fan of Kelly Starrett from Mobility Wad, and he did like a whole year of a video a day and just filmed from the phone camera, and no editing, no nothing, but phenomenal information, right? If you guys don't know Mobility Wad, I'll type it in here. And yeah, that's kind of more the approach that I took in the beginning, was like, I don't want to have the best edited videos. That's not really my forte. I'm more so just going to show myself and what I'm doing and the knowledge that I have. So yeah, kind of got to decide what can be the reason of lower back pain while doing ab workout. probably weak abs and using your lower back muscles too much. So probably regress the ab workout, regress the core workouts. Do dead bugs, like I just said. How much time per day do you spend exercising? Right now I spend about 3.5 hours. I haven't got a session in today yet, so I'm about to hop off here and go get my first session in. Yeah, so 2 sessions a day. I'll just say that, and those are usually around an hour and a half to 2 hours. What do you do in your spare time outside of exercise and YouTube? I talked a little bit about that earlier. Because we live close to the beach now for the last like 3 months, so go to the beach quite a bit. There's also a river close to us. Go to the river a lot, make a little day out of it, grab some food, grab some sandwiches, go down, hang out, get in the water. I love being in the sun. Like, I'm like a sun person. I get energy from the sun, so I like to spend a lot of days outside in as much nature as I can get. I'm from Humboldt County, which is in Northern California, where there's lots of redwoods, and I love being out in the woods, so to speak, backpacking, stuff like that. I also mentioned earlier, like, I enjoy funny TV shows. Like, some of my favorites are Parks and Rec that I'm watching right now, The Office, New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, shit like that. That's just like kind of silly. I like to laugh, and it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? So usually at the end of the day, I might watch a little bit of TV, not too much, but just enough to kind of get some giggles. Let's see. Hey man, how to cope with shoulder injuries while doing shoulder injuries while doing calisthenics, man. Rotator cuff stuff. You got to do external rotation work. Wow, I should show that right now. Holy shit. So this isn't quite the four corners of the scapula. This is more directly shoulder work, but just doing simple external rotation here, keeping the elbow nice and tucked in, trying to get the strength work from here, that back of the shoulder. Guys, these are a staple in my training, right? These bust out like 15 reps. I do this before almost every single session that I have. I'm doing just some external rotation, rotator cuff work. I find everyone needs it. Now, you can also do weighted work for the external rotators, side lying external rotation, where you're doing that same thing, but you're laying on your side and you're here lifting a weight. Simple stuff like that is going to keep the shoulders healthy for sure. Do you like bass nectar? Yeah, to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of electronic music, but I think I actually saw Bass Nectar one time when I was at a festival in Oregon, and the live show was really dope. I enjoyed it a lot. Name 3 foods most important to your diet. I don't really like that because I eat a large variety, and so I'm not going to say these are important to my diet. I'm going to say 3 things that I am like always having in the fridge, basically, would be ground beef, full fat ground beef, like 80-20, broccoli, and goddamn construction. Broccoli, and I had another one. Eggs. Yep. We'll go with eggs. Or substitute. I mean, I love almond butter. Like, almond butter, man. I eat that. I'll grab a banana, put almond butter on it, and that's just like, whew, nice little snack. Almond butter on a piece of toast, whatever. When's the online coaching released? Well, great question. I'm already working with a few online coaching clients, but for right now, I'm not doing much because I'm working on getting the Move Strong Now program out. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to open up some slots here. I was about to say at the end of the month, but I guess it is the 1st or the 2nd today already. So, yeah, I'll open some slots up in a couple of weeks once I get Move Strong Now out. What would you do if your shoulder makes popping noises? Man, everybody's shoulder makes popping noises. It's not normal, but it's common, and it's just a sign that some things aren't moving right. So I would just do all the things that I showed here today. I have some other good shoulder prehab videos on YouTube. I'll plug one of my programs. I have the Shoulder Bandit, which is it's 8 exercises with a band. They're not all with a band, but most of them were with a band, and it just covers like getting your shoulders healthy and strong. It's everything I did while I was traveling for like 8 months, because all I had was a band. I didn't have access to any weights or anything like that. So yeah. Just Google Strength Side Shoulder Bandit if you're interested in that program. It's $33, I believe. Let's see. Good content. Hell yeah. When you do those wall raises, elbow raises, do you apply a lot of pressure? Good question. Shawnee F. Like it. Yeah, I press into the wall. Press into the wall firmly. And because, remember I told you, you want to protract the shoulder blade, so you want to get there and then lock it out overhead, right? Here, really press. That pressing into the wall is what really activates the lower trap and the serratus. Lower trap and serratus. Those are the muscles that you really want to pay big attention to. My one weakness is doing squats. When I squat, it feels like I'm going to fall forward even with no weights. How long did it take you to perfect your squat form? Man, I don't even think I haven't perfected my squat form. I think the squat's always a moving target. There's always something that you can get better at in that. But yeah, it took me a long time. And honestly, the thing that helped it the most was just sitting in a squat for a long time. Just sitting in a squat. Ido Portal's 30 for 30 challenge. 30 minutes a day, 30 days sitting in a squat. I mean, it does wonders, man. It's really tough, but it does wonders. Just curious, did you start working in the fitness industry? Yeah, like right out of college, I became a personal trainer. So it's what I've always done. I mentioned earlier, I worked a more of a desk job at a gym for a period of time. I was like a assistant manager. I did like membership stuff. Hated it. But I was around fitness, and yeah, it's been a long journey, right? Like I went from being a personal trainer, not really knowing anything, to knowing some stuff, being a better personal trainer, working more of in the injury and rehab section of personal training, and then kind of branching out on my own. And now I do this, right? Like I coach people online, and I do YouTube stuff, and have a couple programs. And like I mentioned, I have a big new program coming out soon. I hope you guys will all check it out. Let's see. Just found your movement channel. Enjoy your videos. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you, bro. Do you use calisthenics to build chest? Dealing with a shoulder injury, trying new ways to work out that section of the body. Following your scapular strengthening routine only a week in and feel great. I think that's what it's called, scapular strengthening routine. YouTube, strength side, scapular strengthening. Really good routine there. Some of the stuff that I showed here today, or just a little bit different variations. Calisthenics to build chest. I mean, push-ups, you can do a lot of different variations of push-ups. You can do weighted push-ups. You can do push-ups on the rings, handstand push-ups, obviously starting on the wall. Chest facing the wall is the way to really build that up. But all those are going to bring up your chest. But, a lot of people ask, like, can you do a chest workout, or can you do a traps and lats workout or something? But I don't think of working out like that. I train movements, and the opposite is kind of doing a bit of reverse engineering for the body. And I more so I prioritize what movement I can do first, and the gains that come with that are the gains that come with that, right? Can I do deadlifts and squats with disc bulge? I don't know, man. Probably not. It doesn't sound very appealing to me. Hey, TP and tree. That name popped out to me. TP and tree. Hey, what's good, guys? I'm about to hop off here. Let's see. Any last questions? Everyone's saying goodbye. Who's in the kitchen? Is that your boyfriend?
Hey guys.
Yeah, dude.
It's those are my partners. Immortal, doing your mobility routine and full body weight exercises. Thank you. How to treat a heel spur? No idea. Body weight equivalent to deadlift. Oh, Nordic hamstring curl. Look that up. Bonjour. Hey Josh, what do you recommend for popping hips? I don't like it. Yeah, I don't imagine anyone do. Work on your hip mobility and strength. Thank you for all the inspiration. Appreciate you. Trail running? I know you aren't big on cardio. Yeah, trail running's dope. If I was to run, I would run on trails because that varied surface is fun, man. It's fun. Love your channel. Thank you. Guys, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This has been awesome. Make sure to pay attention to these exercises that I showed, right? If you are into strengthening the shoulders and you want to start developing more shoulder strength, then you got to do the necessary prehabs. Boom, boom. Get those shoulders moving in all directions. Yes, definitely still into the Wim Hof method. Love it. Love anything that is driving me forward, producing more life. I like that Drake album was called More Life because it's so real, man. Like, we want to just get out here and keep transforming our body, but it's really just transforming us as a person, right? Keep driving forward. Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.